Today we are planting Seminole pumpkin. I'm really excited. It's going to go right here in my original Birdie's bed. The really cool thing about the Seminole pumpkin is it does well in Florida, and in about 4 months I'll have pumpkins to harvest. So come along with me and I'll show you how we're going to get these planted. I got my Seminole pumpkin seeds from Cody, Cove farms. If you're not in Florida, don't bother looking them up. But if you are in Florida, it is a nursery in Central Florida that is working on adapting and finding varieties that work well in our climate, but they don't ship outside of Florida. They do offer tours, and I hope one day to get down there and take a look around because it looks like an amazing place at Cody Cove Farm. Now, I learned this trick from Kevin over at Epic Gardening. Yesterday, I trimmed all of my pumpkin seeds so they were open just a little bit, and then I soaked them in water overnight. And so these that have been soaked overnight and the one I just cut will go ahead and get planted out in the garden. The idea is that it gets a little moisture in the seed and helps germination happen faster. So that I can remember, we're going to keep an eye on the seed that I cut but did not soak, and I am going to plant this on the house side of this bed just about an inch down and give that a little closure, and then I'm going to plant one that I did soak on the other side. Well, I guess I can just pour that water out, can't I? Make that easier on myself. All right. And now I have one that has been soaked, and I'm going to plant it over here about an inch down, give it a good pat down. And now I can just keep planting these out. They say to give them about 2 to 4 feet between each one. I'm going to give them about 1.5 feet because I've got lots of room here for it to grow across and down and up and over the trellis. So I'm going to put about 8 or 9 in here. Get one kind of in the middle here, and maybe one about here, and one over here next to this green basket. If you haven't watched my video before about this, I am testing a worm composting bin using a milk crate right here in the garden. I don't have any food in here yet, but I can dig this up, drop my food, and I'm going to put a little cover on it so I can do vermicomposting right in the bed. Now that these are all planted, I need to get this watered in really, really well. All right, let's get this watered in. Now, one of the things that I have learned with some of these garden beds sitting dormant and not being watered is that they've become kind of hydrophobic, and I probably should have done something about that before I planted these seeds. So today, I'm going to water in the surface really, really well. And then I'm going to come back a few more times and water it in again just so it has time to really start getting saturated. Because it's really easy, because it looks like this is nice and wet on top, but if we dig inside, we'll see that the water is just sitting on top so far. So it looks nice and moist on top, but if I pull it back, it hasn't had enough time to soak in yet. So I'm going to give it another coat and maybe a few more coats to give it some time to really get this first 3 or 4 inches soaking in good. And now I've watered it in about 3 or 4 more times, and we're getting more depth, but we still don't have quite as much moisture down in the soil as we want. So I'm going to water it in some more. This is what we're looking for. Now I've got a full 6 inches or more here of damp soil, and it's going to rain today, so this is going to soak up even more water, and these pumpkins are going to get a great watering. So that's exactly what we're looking for. Now let's get some mulch. Now we're going to add some mulch. I like using these pet litter premium shavings from Tractor Supply. These bigger ones, I think I like better than the small ones. I've tried the small ones. They're pretty good on seedlings, but I feel like they get too compressed, much more compressed than these larger ones do. And so this is what I happen to have today, so this is what I'm using. A lot of people ask me, do I find any problems with it changing the acidity of the bed? Not that I've noticed. I haven't ever had anything not grow the way it was expected because I use this, and I've been doing these now. This will be my 3rd season. So the other nice thing is it comes in these convenient packages. It's really easy for me. And one bag goes a really long way. Like I think this was about 1/3 of a bag, and it'll be more than enough to finish off this bed. The reason to mulch a vegetable bed, or for me to mulch these pumpkins in this case, is to help keep the soil moist. We have some pretty serious heat here. We've already been in triple digits this year, and that sun just will evaporate the moisture out of the top layers of the soil. And having the mulch on here seems to make a huge difference in how well the soil is able to retain moisture. I got taller. My mulch on this side on the ground is higher than over there. Very, very close to covering it all. Okay, well, I'm short just a little, but not too shabby. Now, one more thing that I like to do after I mulch is I like to water down the mulch too, for the same reason, so it's not pulling the moisture up out of the soil. So one more watering and we're gonna call starting pumpkins good. This also weighs down the mulch a little bit and keeps it from blowing away quite as easily. All right, that is the last of the watering on the mulch. I may get some more mulch and add a little bit more in, but we're gonna keep an eye on this bed. If you wanna see how these pumpkins keep on growing, be sure to check out the next video just as soon as it's ready. I'll have it up right over there. Until next time, my friends, remember to drink plenty of water, wear that high quality sunscreen, and as always, have a fantastic day.